Hi everybody, it's Nicole here from Baby to Sleep, and thank you for wanting to follow our journey in helping Alyssia get a better night's sleep, in turn me as well. So just to give everybody a bit of an idea as to what this is all about. So I have Sophia, who is nearly 6 years old, and I have Alyssia, who is nearly 22 months. So Alyssia sleeps in my room in her cot. So this is her cot here, and this is where I sleep. She's still breastfed, and she tends to wake in the night once, twice, sometimes 5 times. It's completely up to her. Everything's completely random, and all I've ever done is be responsive, and I've just kind of left it down to her really to work out when she's gonna eventually stop breastfeeding, because Sophia just naturally weaned at 2 days shy of 18 months, and I thought that's gonna happen. It hasn't happened. And now we have a climber. So she can quite happily get out of her cot, and she thinks it's funny. So it's now become that it's not safe. Now, as you can see, this is a grown-up's room, and it's not really cut out to have a toddler bed in here. So that means she's going to have to go into her sister's room. So we are now at the point where we have a 22-month-old baby, or toddler, or crazy child, who is feeding in the night, waking up in the night, that needs to go from her cot into a bed in her sister's room. So we're talking about night weaning, getting her sleeping through the night, a room transition into sharing and into a bed. I've never had to actually deal with a client that's got such big changes that they need to make. So this is going to be a really interesting journey. And I'm just going to give you a bit of an idea of how it actually looks and a bit of the why really, because when I very first I put a post out yesterday in the Facebook group just to sort of say what I was going to be doing and saying feel free to follow the journey, because I think this is something that a lot of people will find helpful. You might feel like you're absolutely totally not alone. You might get some ideas, some tips on how to actually do this yourself with your own children. And I had somebody come back and actually comment saying, well, why does she need to sleep through the night? Why does she need to stop breastfeeding? Why does she need to go into her sibling's room? So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a clue, because at the end of the day, one thing that I always say to people is you don't need to change anything unless it's a problem. If it's a problem for you, then yeah, you probably need to change something. If it's not a problem, then there's nothing to change. Well, we've left it till the point where actually probably in a crisis situation, really, I suppose, just because nothing's ever really bothered us. My husband's been sleeping upstairs. We've got one of them silly houses that's like 3 floors, so there's just 2 bedrooms on this floor. So he's been sleeping in his office, really, on the floor, on a kid's mattress for 2 years, because our long-term issue with Sophia is her sleep deprivation back then, her poor sleep, has long-term affected his sleep. So if he wakes up in the night, he doesn't go back to sleep. So we've literally just not been in the same bed for over 2 years now, since I was pregnant, because I was constantly up having wheeze, as you do when you've got a baby on your bladder. So it'd be nice to actually have him come back. And I think he'd like to get off the kid's mattress on the floor in his office. So that would be quite nice. The other side to this is really, it was never the plan to obviously have her in here for so long. I thought it would be 6 months, but it just ended up not being that way. Sophia's a very sensitive sleeper anyway. She's nearly 6, she's in school. We don't want her sleep to be disturbed. So really, we have kind of just left it to the point of hoping that it'd all sort itself out. It hasn't happened, and just doing the waiting thing just isn't there anymore. She's nearly 2, and I'm ready for stopping breastfeeding. I'm quite happy to sort of say, yeah, I've done my bit now. I'm happy to stop breastfeeding, so it's not that she needs to, but then there is an element where she does need to sleep through the night, because if she doesn't sleep through the night, that's going to disturb her big sister. So there's multiple factors as to why these things need to happen, and she does need to go into a bed, because at the end of the day it's not safe, because she thinks it's funny to get out of the bed, out of the cot. So it isn't safe. So these are all things that we've got to do. So this is my plan. So currently my plan is to basically stop breastfeeding. I've had a chat this morning with Charlotte from Milk Rebel. So basically one of the things I always say to people is get support. Even though I'm a sleep coach, yes, okay, that's what I do. It's sometimes always good to actually get reassurance from somebody else within the field as well that is an expert. So I've paid for Charlotte to give me some support this morning, and she's basically confirmed everything that I was going to do anyway is the right thing to do. But what it does do is make me kind of feel much more confident in being able to actually follow it all through without fear of feeling like I'm not responding, because I will be responding, but just not with the specific thing that she wants, which is going to be a feed to, you know, help her settle herself back to sleep. It's like it's become part of her routine. She's never fed to sleep ever, but it's like it's part of her routine, like a bedtime routine. You do this, followed by this, followed by the other. She wakes up, she has a feed, she might pull my hair for a bit, have a laugh at me, she goes back into her cot, she's absolutely fine, she goes to sleep. It's like that's her routine. So it's like we're having to change that, but it's just unfortunate that that routine involves a feed. So we'll be taking that away. So my first step is basically going to be tomorrow when she's home from nursery, I'm not going to be feeding her for her nap. I'm going to be talking to her all day about how she's such a big girl now and she doesn't need it anymore. It's all gone because she's such a big girl. And I'll be doing the bedtime feed only. And then anything else through the night, I'll be offering her the alternatives, which is a drink, a cuddle, a sit with her, whatever it might be. I am expecting a kickback. There's absolutely no doubt about this whatsoever. And you know what? That's completely fine. It's expected. And I think that was one of the things that I felt much better about today, speaking to an actual infant feeding specialist, because obviously there is all this thing with whether something is gentle, whether, you know, your baby shouldn't cry. Well, actually, she's nearly 2. And it's not that she's crying, she's having a kick off because she wants to go to sleep. And we need to actually start putting some kind of boundaries into place at this age. I mean, she's had boundaries for a long time, but in this world, in the sleep world and the breastfeeding world, this is my body and I'm done. I'm done now. And our situation requires us to be done. So I'm going to respond to her, but in a different way. So I'm going to keep the night feed, the bedtime feed, and I'm going to keep the morning feed, but I'm going to get rid of the night feeds because she has recently done 2 stints of 11 hours with no feed. So I know that she actually doesn't need that feed. So I'm confident about that. And she eats really, really well during the day. So I am absolutely not worried about her being starving through the night. Then the plan will be to stop the morning feed. Then it will be to stop the bedtime feed. So that's the plan. So I'm going to get her sleeping through the night, which I reckon within a week. Now we'll see. 3, 5, maybe 7 days tops, we should have her sleeping through the night. Obviously, this is me being sort of, this is a plan. Plans change. But this is, let's just see where we go from here. In this time while this is happening, I'm going to show you, we have ordered a Minnie Mouse bed for Alyssia because she is absolutely obsessed with Minnie Mouse. However, we have nowhere for it to go. So let me show you where she's going to end up. And I'll show you the plan of what we're going to do to make things better. So as you can see, unfortunately, see this big pile of teddy bears here and books? That's actually where her bed's going to go. So then you kind of go, well, actually, do you know what? We've got a chest of drawers, we've got a wardrobe, we've got that there, we've got a bookcase, we've got that, we've got a bed. So where on earth are we supposed to actually put all the stuff? So what I've got here is I do have a bookcase, and this bookcase is getting used to store teddies. Well, actually, I've just ordered a zoo soft toy storage. It's brilliant. So I'm going to let you see it when it goes up. I've ordered it through Heartwood Systems. So that's basically going to go in this corner here. And all of these teddy bears are going to be able to actually sit in this little zoo, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. This is coming out the bedside door. So with all the bedding in, bedding table, that's going to come out. All the books are going to go in the bookcase, and the bookcase is going to get used for what it should be used for, and the bed is going to go here. This is the plan. Her Minnie Mouse bedding is ordered as well, and it's going to be a case of getting it set up, letting her come in and just play. That's it really. To begin with, it's just going to be a case of she can come in, she can play, she can get in and out of the bed, she can get used to it, she can be excited about it. All this while I'm getting her to learn to sleep properly in a cot. So the bed arrives on Monday, and the toy storage arrives Monday, Tuesday. So it will all be getting built while she's in nursery next week. So then it'll all be getting put up, so she's got time to have a good play in it. The next step for me is going to be saying, right, okay, so when she's happy playing in there, she's quite happy in this room, I'm going to work towards getting to have a nap in the bed. That's the next step. So it's going to be a case of having a nap in there. And then, all being well, as long as everything goes to plan, it will be then a case of letting her dictate when she's ready to actually go into the bed to sleep at night. But by this point, she will already be sleeping through the night. She will be happy in that sleep space. She will like the environment, and she will be used to sharing a room. This is the plan. Now then, I am not expecting this to be easy. I'm expecting lots of things to go very, very wrong. That's okay, because at the end of the day, you know, as my husband said, he's a musician, he teaches the piano. He says you get musicians that don't teach their own children the piano, because at the end of the day, it's hard to do something when you're literally living in it anyway. So I'm not expecting this to be completely and utterly easy, hence me already going out and getting external help before I start, to make sure that my plan is sound, and that I'm doing the right thing, in making sure that actually, yeah, I'm doing the right thing and it's going to be okay. And I'm not breaking any connections or bonds between me and Alyssia, and everything else. So yeah, so that's where we're kind of going. So get expert help from the beginning. This is the same for you. If you're struggling, if you're not sure what to do, if you're in a position where you're wanting to go from the cot to the bed, or you're wanting to night wean, if you're not sure, don't just jump in and have a go. Get proper help. That's what the experts are there for. You know, that's what we do. You know, that's why there are experts in particular fields, because they know what they're talking about. So get that kind of help. But that's exactly what I've done. But follow the journey. I'll let you know how things go. So this is just me sort of introducing the why I'm going to be doing this, what the situation currently looks like, and what the plan is. Plan may change. You might find that I come on one day and I look absolutely dreadful, and I'm kind of going, last night was absolutely awful. And that's fine. It probably will be. I'm going to have some tough nights, and that's fine. Just that I'm expecting it. So if I'm expecting it, I hope you guys are as well, and not thinking, God, she's rubbish at what she does. Because I have a child. I have a really strong-willed, intelligent, bright child, who is going to test me. And that's fine. And she's not just, you know, she's not a robot. She's got a need and she's got a want, and I need to make sure the need is met but not the want, if that makes sense. She wants to go to sleep, but she doesn't need the feed to get there, if that makes sense. So we'll figure it out. So yeah, she needs to go to sleep, she wants the feed, should I say. Let me get it the right way around. Anyway, so I'll be starting tomorrow night, well, starting with tomorrow's nap, and I will keep you updated on how it's all going, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the successes. It will be a success, I've got absolutely no doubt about it, but I do know that this is going to be a naturally rocky road, and it would be for anybody in this position. So expect a stressed out me to come and do a video one day, and that's fine. I'm not worried about that. Just don't judge, because it's normal. Okay, so subscribe. Most of the videos will probably be a lot shorter than this one. This is just my kind of introducing the whole thing. But subscribe, and I'll get all the videos put up as to what's actually going to be happening. Follow the journey, share it with anybody you think will actually benefit from it, that needs some ideas on what they're going to do, to help the little ones as well on that transition. Like I say, we've got lots of things going on. Moving into a room with a sibling, going into a bed, stopping breastfeeding, full stop, stopping night, you know, and getting asleep in through the night. 4 huge things in one go. Wish me luck. But I'll keep you updated as to how it's all going. Right, I'll see you all soon. See you later. Bye.